Hello, Mystic AF viewers. My name is Keelan Siobhan Clark. Thank you for joining us. Today we're exploring not only mysticism and 21st century leadership, but how you can make money off of being visible. And this is something that I'm really a stand for because as a camera coach, obviously you get to be visible. And I have two beautiful, wonderful sisters with me today, Jen and Meg, who are in my Soul Ascend Mastermind. They are also collaborators of their business, which I'll let them tell you about. And they're just beautiful, amazing human beings. So get out your notepads, listen to everything they say, and write it down so you don't forget. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us, Keelan. Ever since you came into my awareness, I just love your energy. You've always been a team player, and I'm just so grateful to be able to collaborate with you. So thank you for having us.
Yeah,
so excited.
I mean, we've gone way back, in our leadership together, Keelan, and I've loved watching you. You're just crushing it everywhere, and I love seeing you be so visible. So thanks again for having us.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
You're so welcome. So can we hear a little bit about, not your full origin story, because we have about 15 minutes, but really where you two came from and what you're up to now, really high level cliff notes, because you guys are very interesting women. And I think that how you got to where you are now is pretty important. Who wants to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So we will try to make this short and sweet. We have a problem with that.
We do.
Just,
we'll keep you on track. Rigor.
I can do this.
Yeah. Okay. She's the only one allowed to do that. But, it's really interesting because we're going to be talking today about this. And we're going to be talking about how we found, that when we were in collaboration, when we stopped allowing ourselves to get into the conversation of competition, we came together and really started to make huge quantum leaps, not only in our lives, but in our business. And we were able to make a lot bigger impact for more women, which is our mission, because our mission is to really, help heart-centered women monetize their mission without feeling like they're in overwhelm, without feeling like they're in that bro marketing, hustle hard mentality, and, without feeling like they have to trade time for money, so that they can really align with their values and ascend. And Megan and I chose to break down all those sister wounds and come together, lock arms, and really make an impact.
Yeah. And we came together because of past struggle with, we know what being broke and not knowing where we're going to sleep is like. We know what sister wounds is like. So we had to heal in order to trust, number one, that we could run a successful business, right, separately. Number two, we got to trust that we could come together, right? After, years of bullying and competition and seeing other women as a threat. And number three, we got to trust that not only could we monetize and scale successfully our own businesses, but also help our community take their mission and monetize it into multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses. And, today we still, no wrong, baby.
Let it rain, baby.
Today, women still have a lot of trauma around money, around talking about money. Yeah. Even, when I first started making money and manifesting 6 figures, I had a hard time talking about it because, I didn't want to be that woman that was like, oh, look at me, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be shamed for talking about it. Whereas men, you get men in a room and they go straight to the point. They're like, okay, how much? How do we do this, right? There's no fluff around it. No. And so I saw that there was such a gap, especially for female innovators, female business owners, female entrepreneurs, in that, even often when we are making good money, we don't talk about it because we're afraid of how we're perceived. So that is really our mission in coming together through our business academy, through our podcast, through our retreats, through our mastermind, is creating a healthy and safe environment for women to come together to talk about their mission. And also, come on, let's talk about money, right? Let's talk about
money.
How it can impact if we're not making money.
That's right. Amen.
You know, I feel like the 90s were the decade of talking about sex. Maybe or the 70s too, but I wasn't alive yet, right? So maybe this is like the decade of like, we get to talk about money.
It's the same chakra too. So
Yeah, it is. And speaking of that chakra, I think that's,
Which one is it, just for people who don't know?
Oh, so base root chakra, right? So root chakra is all about safety, security.
The red one.
Yeah, the red fiery one. And for us as women, what is so unique about us and our makeup, our genetic code is that, women are creators, right? But in order to be creators, in order to be innovators, in order to really show up fully, we have to first feel safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And without the feeling of that base root chakra of safety, women can't create, women can't innovate, women can't think about anything but that base root need to feel safe and secure. And what we've noticed is because of the patriarchy, because of other things, we are taught that we're not safe or secure around other women. Mm-hmm. But, ancestrally and our DNA is made up to which women are supposed to be in community. That is how we gain safety, when we have other women to lean on and to support us and to raise us up and to give us those basic needs of emotional and spiritual safety. And so Megan and I believe that is the first point of what we get to address as women innovators and entrepreneurs, is creating that safety for each other and with each other.
100%. I hear that so powerfully, because I know, and I'm going to just take it to visibility for a second in the cameras, that, there's people out there who are terrified of the camera. And I feel like it's such a vulnerable, courageous thing to step into. And if we're coming from a space of, we're afraid to go outside, some people are right now, right? Because of the virus or whatnot, creating that safety. I love that you're bringing in community, because I think we've also, especially as women, we're like, okay, well, we need to just like pull up our bootstraps and be like a guy and like just do it all on our own, right? And how effing lonely is that?
Right.
So lonely, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And women create when we are in safety, as Jen was saying. So, there is so much power in numbers, in feeling like, okay, I know I'm going through this. I have a lot of adversity, but so does Jen, and she's gone through it too. And so does Keelan. And there's so much magic that happens when we have this portal of permission that we talk about through other women. And the future is really calling on the feminine, and it's calling on women to really step into this version where we, to be totally honest, I've been way too much in my masculine in the past. And while it did reach me a certain level of success in business, it wasn't sustainable, because women are not designed to be in their masculine for long periods of time like men are hormonally. Mm-hmm. And so if we look at this safety as our portal of permission to step into our feminine, to create and talk about camera, I mean, shit terrified of the camera. Like, I could speak on stage in front of 2,000 people. Yes, I would be nervous, but get me in front of a camera and I used to be like, I have no idea. Like, I don't look good enough. It's like something.
All the things.
It's like evidence that I fucked up. Like, you're on stage, you fuck up. People remember for a day and then they forget. But then it's like there's like this database of me and my imperfections just online for everyone to see forever. So I have.
What a gift.
So being in community with women like Jen and you and other women over the past 10 years has helped me overcome that fear of being seen in this way, that I realized I get to be me, I get to be imperfect, I get to mess up, and I also get to show other women that they can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that it all goes back to, because it's all connected. I always call the camera the gateway drug to your greatness. Because once you like get over all of that, you're like, wait a minute, I'm actually just going to be serving other people when I'm in front of the camera or in front of, 2,000 people live.
Like the marijuana of online.
Yeah, right. Totally. And I get naturally high off of it. So it's really true, right? I get high off of being on camera. But okay, so people are visible.
Yeah.
Now, the big question that everybody wants to know all the time is, how the F do we make money being visible?
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that happen?
It's a great question. And I think that the visibility factor is, and I know this is such a cliche thing to say, but it's know, like, and trust, right? And as women, we get to call out energetically our tribe, our community, right? The people that are going to connect with us in a heart-centered way. And so first and foremost, when you're visible, when you're allowing yourself to be seen and you're really actually being authentically, we don't really love that word, but really aligned with who you are and who you be, you're going to call in energetically a community of like-minded people that either want to be around you and collaborate with you, or they want to buy from you. And in order for them to buy from you, they get to know you. Right. And so being visible is really important, not only for the conversion factor, but calling in that community that we coach with, or how we coach is to call in that community so you can collaborate and expand and grow. So the first step is you get to find a community of
Write this down. Write this down. This is like $1 million.
It really is, because collaboration, our formula, really our true formula for Soul Ascend is connection plus collaboration minus competition equals currency. So it gets to be that simple. When you're in the camera, you're connecting with other humans energetically, right? You're calling them in to collaborate. You're removing the competition by creating that safety and community, and that converts to currency all the time, all day long, every day of the week.
Boom, bam.
Boom.
Yeah. So how do you collaborate, Meg?
Oh man. Well, and this is one thing that, Jen and I really got to step into our own truth over the past year, in that we fired our business coaches at the same time because we weren't about the bro marketing, and it never converted for us. Anytime I tried Facebook ads for my blueprint, ads work for a lot of people. For me, it was not organic. It was money going down the drain. And so,
wait 1 second, because I think this is important, because I think some times, like, we were like, okay, we're pushing. Why isn't it working for me? It's working for everyone else. Like, how did you know the moment to trust and release? Like, what was that energetic feeling?
So we talked about the masculine versus the feminine. I realized that I was looking at impact as not like people as numbers. Number, right?
I got chills.
Instead of as heartbeats.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And there's a disconnect, right? When we're, as service-based entrepreneurs, if we're looking at people only as numbers, there's a disconnect there. When we can look at people as heartbeats, as stories, as souls that we can impact, that is me tapped into my mission. And I wasn't tapping into my mission, right?
Yeah.
And so inadvertently at the same time, Jen and I were going through the same thing. Her business coach was teaching her the bro marketing. My business coach was teaching me the bro marketing.
And if you guys know what bro marketing is, like, pop it in the chat and just say, I know, bro, down with bro, whatever.
They were lovely people, but it wasn't aligned with our true values. And so when we talk about collaboration equaling currency, collaborate with people who share the same values as you, right? They might have different interests, but when it really comes to values, then you're unstoppable, right? Because then you have built that know, like, and trust factor. Then you can be in a safe environment when you know that you're surrounded around people who are spiritually aligned with you, right?
Yeah.
So, Jen and I were going through this at the same time, and we're like, oh my God, we're paying X amount of money for our business coaches and it's not converting. I'm not making any more money. Why is this happening? Oh, because we're not aligned in values. And so then we came together and we started very small, right? Started with the podcast, and then we realized how much more powerful we were together and how much we really do love collaborating.
Did you have a little more fun when you guys got together? Did it feel like there was a little more fun that happened?
Oh,
joy?
God. Totally. I mean,
maybe a leading question, but
Keelan, our theme for the year was fun. We're like, if it's not fun, we're not doing it. Like, we're too old. We've been doing this for way too long for things to not be fun.
Yeah. And I love how Megan's speaking into that. And I would love to hear what your audience has to say about what they think bro marketing is, like, for them. But for me, I remember the moment that I knew I needed to shift was my business coach said, I always use this example because it like makes me feel so icky. He said, if you're not converting cold traffic, you should close your business. And I was like, that just like literally makes me feel horrified. Like that's how we should show up in the world. That's not a feminine way to approach business. And so that was my moment when I was
and
like,
it's not going to be your people that you're
No.
leading in. It's like more of a getting energy, I think, like when you're in that mindset, and look, you're not going to want to work with those people anyways.
No, it's the numbers instead of the heartbeats. And so I'm here to serve. Megan's here to serve. We're here to be generous. And that's part of our mission. And so, that kind of marketing is not the way that we've converted our business into 6-7 figure businesses. And so one more tip before I know we're probably getting close to the end is during that collaboration practice that Megan was talking about, my big piece of advice is to really stop looking at other women in your space as your competition. Because a lot of our clients come to us and they say, oh, there's so many women doing this. There's so many people as health coach. There's so many yoga teachers online. There's so many business coaches. And the beautiful thing is that when you can look at other women as not competition, but as opportunities to collaborate for a bigger impact, everything shifts and changes. And instead of going to Facebook to pay them to market for you or the big conglomerates, when you're supporting other women to support your business and you in turn give that back without having to exchange money on, these big social media networks, that's where the magic happens. And you call in the right people, and that's how it converts so effortlessly and in such flow.
Yeah. I'm hearing intimacy.
Totally.
And I have the same stand on competition. That's so 20th century. Like there's all these like old school 20th century things. Like we're in the 21st century. And I mean, I come from the same space as every single one of us. Even if you're a twin, an identical twin, you still are your own separate person, right? And what you can offer the world is going to be a little bit different from someone who even does exactly what you do. And you two are a perfect example of this because, you both are on the same kind of parallel, but you both bring your own special magic, right? And I think that anyone out there who's still in that competition phase, like really stand up and look around how you're showing up, because there's so many people around you wanting to support you, wanting to support you with your mission. So thank you for being that stand, because I'm right there with you, sisters.
We got a lot of ours. We got to rewrite this narrative.
Yeah. And it starts with me, it starts with you, and it starts with anyone in the audience watching. So with that said, I'm definitely going to have these ladies back on because I know there's a million more things we can speak about. But in the meantime, do you have something you can share with the group?
Yeah, so we have a free gift for your audience, and it's definitely one of our community's favorites, if not the favorite. It's 10 ways to make money online. So for a lot of you that are, wanting to get visible or not, this instant download will give you 10 different ways that you can create both passive and active income online.
Awesome. I'll have you guys send me the link, and then for your podcast too. They have an amazing podcast. It's really, really fun and loving, and that's where it really started. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Anything else that you're feeling that you want to share before we wrap up?
I just want to reiterate our little formula. And I think this could be something, we have these things in our community called ascendments instead of assignments. And we also have these things called soul assignments. So I think for your audience today, just to take with them is to remember that formula, and how are you being in your day-to-day? How are you showing up? So it's connection plus collaboration minus competition equals currency. So if you're looking to create currency, how can you add more connection and collaboration and remove more competition?
I'm writing it down just to be source for anyone else. Well, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you. And everyone who watched this, please fill the chat with some love. Just tell us what your biggest takeaways were, and we'll see you again real soon. So bye for now.